Hello, I would like to say thank you for coming to my presentation. It's great to see you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Laila Anggraeni and I am from class 20 Social 1 number 20. The purpose of the presentation is about procedure text. Table of contents. Part 1 about procedure, Part 2 recipe, Part 3 tip about procedure. The definition of procedure. Procedure text is a text that explains or helps us how to make or use something. Its social function is to describe how something is completely done through a sequence of series. The generic structure. Number 1, the goal title. Number 2, the ingredients, stating the materials needed to make something. Number 3, the method, stating the steps to make the something. The goals of the recipe is stated as the title. The ingredients section states the materials. That the method section states the steps. That the structure to state the ingredients consists of the name of materials and amount of materials needed. That the structure to state steps consists of process to make something. Language features of procedure text are: number 1, use simple present tense. Number 2, use temporal conjunction. Number 3, use action verb. Number 4, use imperative verb. And the last, use adverbial phrase. Language feature of procedure text. Number 1, simple present tense. Procedure text uses simple present tense because in this text there are fact sentences regarding the making or use of something. Number 2, imperative sentence. The imperative sentence begins with the verb. For example, heat, mix, add, plug in, etc. Number 3, connectivize. This word is a link between one sentence and another. For example, firstly, secondly, finally, etc. Number 4, adverbs. Used to provide time and method information. For example, in 10 minutes, slowly, etc. Types of procedure. Number 1, simple procedure text. This text contains only 2 or 3 steps. For example, procedure for operating magic comb. Number 2, complex procedure text. Text consisting of levels for each stage. For example, procedure for filling in XII-IIS. Number 3, protocol procedure text. Text that has simple steps and easy to understand. For example, procedure of shutting down a PC or laptop. Part 2, recipe. How to make a brownies. Ingredients: 2 eggs plus water. Uses a bit of butter with the eggs to achieve the moist, gooey texture of boxed mix. brownies without any commercial emulsifiers. And because this recipe doesn't contain any baking powder, eggs are essential for helping the brownies puff up in the oven. Powdered sugar. The trick to make homemade brownies that are just like ones from a box. Powdered sugar contains cornstarch, which help thicken the batter without the chemical additives and you find in the mix. Unsweetened cocoa powder. Misha recommends using Hershey's Special Dark Doods processed cocoa powder. I use Whole Foods 365 cocoa powder. Make sure to sieve it if it's lumpy. Oil. While many recipes for brownies use unsalted butter, Michelle calls for canola oil, just like the box mix. I use olive oil because it's what I keep on hand, and I love the rich flavor. Vanilla extract. 1/2 teaspoon. Vanilla really amps up the chocolate flavor. How to make brownies? First, mix together the dry and wet ingredients into separate bowls. Combine the sugar, flour, powdered sugar, cocoa powder, chocolate chips, and salt in medium bowl. Then, mix together the eggs, olive oil, and water in large one. Next, combine the wet and dry ingredients. Sprinkle the dry mixture over the wet one and fold until just combined. The batter will be thick. Then, pour the batter into 2-8-inch baking pan lined with parchment paper. Use a rubber spatula to spread it out for size of the pan and to smooth the top. The mixture will be very thick. That's okay. Finally, bake! Transfer the pan to 325 degree oven and bake for 40 to 45 minutes until a toothpick inserted comes out with a few crumbs attached. Allow the brownies to cool completely before slicing and serving. And the last, part 3, tips. 7 tips for growth hair. Number 1. Massage your scalp once every day. It will increase blood flow to your hair follicles and stimulate hair growth. Number 2. Brush your hair gently. Number 3. Rinse your hair with cold water. Number 4. Avoid tying your hair up too often. Number 5. Don't forget to use hair mask twice a week. Number 6. Invest in a hair serum. And the last, number 7. Avoid using tools that produce too much heat. Thank you for your listening. May all those I have shared be beneficial for all of us.